Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Marin Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. The presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. And now I'll turn it over to our presenters. We are here in session B9. So first up, we'll hear from Northeastern University.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Just give me 1 second. Awesome. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. My name is Katie Congdon. I'm one of the assistant directors of undergraduate admissions here at Northeastern, and I primarily handle admissions for the Marin County area. So I will be your admissions counselor, and please use me as a resource. Now, if you are not familiar, Northeastern is a large private research university located in the heart of downtown Boston. We have now 8 colleges and programs and over 250 majors that students can choose to partake in. So a lot of ways to get involved, a lot of different academic paths that can be charted here at Northeastern. We now have opportunities where students can combine majors and of course can take opportunities in minors and concentrations. So again, a lot of ways to involve yourself in various academic interests around campus. Our NU Path option is our core curriculum, which instead of being more of a nuanced type of curriculum, this is an opportunity where students get to choose courses based on the competencies or themes that these courses will introduce them to. And so again, allowing for a lot more flexibility for students to chart their own paths and create different academic areas that they can explore here at Northeastern. Really at the center of everything Northeastern is our robust experiential learning program. And this is going to include 4 categories of which you're seeing on the screen now: co-op, global studies, research, and service. And out of these, all of them are wonderful opportunities, but co-op is going to be by far the most unique opportunity. And if you are not familiar, this is an opportunity where students are working up to 6 months out of the year, 40 hours a week. These are opportunities where you are working a full-time job experience, so students are not taking courses during this time. Also means they're not paying for tuition. This is an opportunity where we have students working on all 7 continents, including Antarctica. And these students are working anywhere from large Fortune 100 companies within walking distance of our campus, all the way up to startup nonprofits in Zimbabwe. You name it, everything in between. These are in all fields, all majors, all industries. And I understand that looking at schools can be really daunting sometimes, and to consider all of the considerations that you think you should be thinking about and the different aspects of college. But I can tell you wholeheartedly that this co-op opportunity is not only going to prepare you for success after graduation, but it's going to be able to complete both your short and long-term goals. I know that we have beautiful buildings and modern labs and state-of-the-art research buildings, but none of that will leave you with anything tangible, not like this co-op opportunity. So make sure that you're doing your research in this and really understanding the value of a Northeastern education when you include something like a co-op in the mix of all of that. Now, global studies is exactly what it sounds like, an opportunity where not so much right now, but traditionally you would be able to take your studies in other areas of the world. And I can assure you that as soon as it is safe to do so, our students will be traveling abroad again. Services opportunities, again, when you can really take what you're learning in the classroom and apply that to real world context. So giving you the opportunity to have almost like an added component to your classroom work so that you could be out in the community giving back. And not only is it important to give back into the community that you're calling home, but I think there's something to be said about the value that could be added to your classroom work when you are kind of taking your studies outside of that classroom. Research opportunities, we are a tier 1 research university University, which means that we have some of the highest level of research currently taking place in our campus. This is not just saved for STEM students, and it is not just saved for upperclassmen or postgrads. Anybody on campus can get involved in this. We have a strong focus on interdisciplinary research, which means research that takes place across our colleges. And so finding opportunities that maybe you'll be in a lab with a criminal justice student and an English student and a biology student, that's not super uncommon here. You're going to find, again, research opportunities that span across all colleges. When we think about coming back to Boston, this is, maybe I'm a little biased here, but this is the best college town. We have now over 250 college students that come to our city each year, and they come for Boston's rich history, our cultural offerings, and overall intellectual atmosphere. There is always something to do in the city, and I really encourage you to explore a little bit more about what we have to offer here. You can see some of our surrounding buildings if you check out our virtual tour as well. Now, very quickly, our Northeastern Promise is really at the forefront of your admissions process, especially looking at financial aid and how we can award this to students who are looking for this type of valuable education. We do promise to meet your family's entire demonstrated need, so please make sure you're filling out the FAFSA and the CSS profile. I really hope that this was helpful for you tonight to get to know Northeastern a little more and really, like I said, understand the value of a Northeastern education. Please feel free to reach out if we can help in any other way. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. So next we'll hear from Mount Holyoke College.
So hi everyone, my name is Nicole Reynolds. I'm Director of Enrollment, Marketing and Communications and Senior Associate Director of Admission at Mount Holyoke. Mount Holyoke is a private residential liberal arts college for women located on 700 stunning acres in Western Massachusetts, where outside my window fall is in its full glory. For those unfamiliar with Western Mass, it's an area very rich in culture, the arts, varied outdoor activity, and social justice activism. Our campus is about 90 minutes west of Boston, which is where we just were with Northeastern, and about 3 hours from New York City. We have a student body of 2,200 and 98% of them live on campus all 4 years. We are very, very proudly the first of the 7 sister colleges, founded at a time when there were no other college options for women. And our founder really acted on the conviction that women could and should do far more than what society deemed was our highest calling at the time. This was 1837, which was to be wives and mothers. Today, we're quite a ways from 1837, and we're now a gender diverse and affirming institution. We accept applications from females, trans, and non-binary students. Our mission now, though, is the same as it was then. We empower the next generation of female leaders always. So maybe some of you out there listening have not yet considered a women's college. It's not a surprise. Fewer than 2% of women in the US attend one. By virtue of that statistic, it's a bold and unconventional choice. But as alums, that 2% is a community of firsts and of leaders and of innovators, because at our institution, it's not just about equal opportunity, it is about every opportunity to cultivate your leadership skills, to define your intellectual trajectory, and to craft a social life that's grounded in your choice rather than social norms. Emily Dickinson benefited from Mount Holyoke's culture of empowerment, as did Frances Perkins, who was the first woman ever appointed to a presidential cabinet. And so too did Jean Sammet, who was the woman who wrote and developed the first widely used computer programming code in the United States. In fact, graduates of women's colleges like Mount Holyoke, we claim entrepreneurial roles and positions of leadership across professions and at a statistically much higher rate than our female counterparts who graduate from co-ed institutions. Because of this, students who graduate from Mount Holyoke enter into what is arguably one of the most powerful professional women's networks in the world. But you won't only see women at Mount Holyoke, of course, because we're part of something bigger. It's known as the 5 College Consortium. So this is a partnership with 4 nearby schools, and you can see them on the right of your screen: Amherst, Hampshire and Smith Colleges, and the University of Massachusetts Amherst. We're all located within a 6-mile radius of one another, and we're connected. Our towns and campuses are connected by the largest free bus system in the Northeast. meaning that over the course of a week, a student might hike the Seven Sisters mountain range, catch a show, a music or art show at one of the many venues in town, attend a seasonal festival on one of our commons, or enjoy ice cream produced at a local dairy farm. And that's all outside of the rich offerings that happen on our campus. So on our campus, the 5 colleges means expanded academic, co-curricular, and social opportunities for students. So students can cross-register in courses at any of these schools at no additional cost. The 38,000 co-ed students in the 5 colleges socialize across campuses in the context of parties, lectures, and events. And we join clubs and organizations across campuses. So for example, theater and dance performances and auditions are open to all 5 college students. So every one of the 5 colleges has its own personality. At Mount Holyoke, we attract students who are interested in a front row learning experience. They're interested in learning and living environments where they won't come up against preconceived notions about what they can or should do by virtue of their gender or any other facet of their identity, quite frankly. Our focus is to catalyze and cultivate their ambition. We provide them the space and tools to become risk takers, to develop their voice by speaking up and speaking out. We trust our students to carve their own paths, and we support that journey through things like interdisciplinary courses, academic rigor, close faculty mentorship, and rich experiential learning opportunities that allow students to move theory into practice in professional and research settings well before they leave our gates. So Mount Holyoke students choose from 48 majors. You can see our top majors on the right-hand side of the screen. 36% of students major in STEM fields, 35% in social sciences, and 28% in humanities. Our small student faculty ratio, it's 9-to-1, and the fact that 75% of our classes have fewer than 20 students ensures that all students have a voice, no matter what their major. The strength of our academics is, of course, also tied to the strength of our faculty and class dynamics. 2 things we're very, very proud of at Mount Holyoke. Our professors are dynamic teachers who foster collaboration, not competition, in our academically rigorous classrooms. They're also global scholars with active research agendas who pull students in on that work, both in and out of the classroom. And they're invested mentors who engage deeply with students to ensure their success. This year, the Princeton Review recognized our campus as having the top faculty in the country with a #1 rating in Professors Get High Marks. Some quick application deadlines for your reference. We're a common or coalition application school with 3 application round options: early decision 1, 2, or regular decision. And I am your person. I work with students and families from California. And I invite you to be in contact if you have any questions. If anything else I've said is of interest, you may want to check us out more closely with some of our virtual visit options.
Great, thank you. So next we'll hear from Pace University.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm just going to pull up my presentation. So welcome virtually to Pace University, realistically my bedroom, but virtually nevertheless to Pace. My name is Alexa Dalbis. I'm an admissions counselor here. I'm based on our Westchester campus, but I recruit on behalf of both campuses. Yes, we do have 2 campuses. I'm sure you're most familiar with our New York City campus, but we do have a campus an hour north of New York City as well, urban and suburban, really the best of both worlds. So something that really makes the Pace educational experience unique is the implementation of our PACE Path goal setting system, which is really going to serve as your blueprint for success during your time at PACE. Now, you develop your PACE Path in your University 101 course, which is a course that every first-year student has to take at PACE, and it's essentially going to teach you how to be a college student. In this class, you're going to set realistic and achievable sets of goals for yourselves within our 3 key categories, which are personal development, professional development, and academic development. And the PACE Path just really ensures that all of our students are walking away from their time at PACE as well-rounded individuals that have really taken advantage and made the most of all of those unique resources right at their fingers. So diving a little deeper into each of those sections of the path, beginning with academics. One of the greatest things about PACE is that on campus, you're always going to be a name. You're never going to be a number. Our average class size is 20 students. So if you're looking to disappear into the shadows of a lecture hall, PACE is not going to be the place for you. In terms of our programs, over 100 different 150 different programs to explore across our 5 undergraduate schools of study. We have our College of Health Professions, which houses our health sciences as well as our nursing program. Our Dyson College of Arts and Sciences houses all of our different liberal arts programs. So that's where you find subjects like biology, psychology, criminal justice, digital cinema, communications, as well as our School of Performing Arts. Now, jumping down to our Lubin School of Business, we do have a lot of traditional business programs such as finance, accounting, marketing, but we also have some unique programs as well, such as sports marketing and hospitality and tourism management, as well as arts and entertainment management. So we do have the largest business internship program in the New York metro area, tons of great opportunities for our business students. We were founded as a business school as well. Our School of Education has adolescent, early childhood, and childhood education, as well as 5-year programs, so students can pursue a bachelor's and a master's in 5 years as opposed to 6. And then last but not least, we have our Seidenberg School of Computer Science and Information Systems, which houses all of our technology-based programs, computer science, information systems, and information technology. Jumping back up to our School of Law, it is our 3rd campus located about 45 minutes north of New York City, and we do have the options for students to pursue 3-in-3 programs where they get a bachelor's and a JD in 6 years as opposed to 7. We also have an honors college on our campus for students who are looking to academically challenge themselves over the course of their time at Pace. Once accepted, students have access to exclusive courses, trips and events, early course registration, and a guaranteed minimum of a $15,000 scholarship, but our average honors student is receiving over $25,000 every year. In terms of getting hired on campus, our Office of Career Services really goes above and beyond in linking up our students with all of the job opportunities out there. They do everything from one-on-one career counseling to help with creating resumes and cover letters, tips and tricks for online and interpersonal networking, mock interviews and etiquette workshops. They'll teach you how to shake a hand. They will even let you borrow a blazer if you don't already own one, really walk you through the process from point A to point Z. We also have 2 job fairs on each of our undergrad campuses every year with over 100 employers at each. And our campuses are a 2-for-1 deal, which I'll talk about in just a sec. So students have access to all of those job fairs, regardless of which campus they choose to have as their home base. And then last but not least, we do have our online job database called Handshake, which is unique because students can upload their resumes into the database, and from there, job hunters search them out. In terms of our 2 campuses, as I've been mentioning, we have our New York City campus, which is located in the heart of the financial district. You're steps away from Wall Street and the Brooklyn Bridge, but our campus is condensed into about a 5-block radius, so you're never going to have to swipe your Metro card to get from your main academic spaces to your bed at night. And then about an hour north of New York City, we have our Westchester campus. New York is more vertical. This is our horizontal campus spread out across 200 gorgeous acres. And it's more traditional. You have the grass, the trees, the student quad, as well as our Division II athletics facilities. Both campuses are open to students regardless of which they choose to call home. So students are always able to eat in the cafeteria, study in the library, take campus events, club meetings, take courses on the other campus at no additional cost to them. And we do have a shuttle that's free for students to use that runs between the 2. In terms of student life on campus, over 150 different clubs and organizations for students to get involved with. They represent all different types of interests. And if you have an interest that isn't currently represented on campus, you do have the opportunity to start your own organization with a group of your friends. In terms of a PACE education, though we are a private school, it does cost less than you think. We offer very generous financial aid packages. 95% of our first-year students receive financial assistance, with their average package being closer to $26,000 now. Tons of different financial aid available as well, federal and institutional scholarships and grants, work study, campus jobs, as well as those outside scholarships. In terms of an application requirements, really standard as far as the college application goes. You can go to our website or you can go to the common application. We do not preference and we are test optional. These are a few deadlines that we have coming up, plenty of options to apply, early decision, early action, as well as regular decision. And last but not least, some contact information. I am more than happy to help answer any questions that you may have in the chat. And it was great presenting to you tonight.
Great, thank you. So next we'll hear from Eckerd College.
Thank you so much. Hang on one second. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jake Brown, and I'm the Director of Admission at Eckerd College. Eckerd is located in St. Petersburg, Florida. So we're on the Gulf Coast in the Tampa Bay metropolitan region. If anyone's watching the World Series. Tampa Bay Rays and the Dodgers are playing right now. And so you would fly into Tampa International. There are direct flights from SFO. We're about 20 to 25 minutes away from the airport. St. Petersburg's a peninsula on what I'd like to call a larger peninsula of Florida. And so we've got Tampa Bay on one side and the Gulf of Mexico, which you see right here. Eckerd College is located on that lower tip of the peninsula. So this is campus itself. It's 188 acres. Mile and a half of campus is right on the water. This is Boca Ciega Bay that goes out into the Gulf of Mexico. We have our own waterfront facility, which I'll talk about in just a few minutes, as well as our own private beach. One of the interesting features about Eckerd is our geographic distribution. So 80% of our students, 80% of our students come from outside of the state of Florida. And 47 different states, 41 other countries are represented in the student body. 90% of our students, 90% of the 1,970 live on campus. And what I think is really most interesting is that on average, our students are traveling 1,000 miles from home to come to Eckerd. That's really, really different than the average distance traveled from a student's home to their college campus, whereas the average is about 200 to 250 miles. Eckerd students are making 4 to 5 times that distance commitment. So you can start to make some generalizations that Eckerd students tend to be a little bit more adventurous. They're okay being the only student from their high school potentially coming to us. Another unique feature of Eckerd is that we're on a 4-1-4 academic calendar. So as opposed to a semester or trimester program, the 4-1-4 relates to the number of classes that you'll take in a given academic year. So students typically will take 4 courses in the fall, 4 courses in the spring. Sophomore, junior, and senior year, you'll take 1 course for 3 weeks in what we call winter term. However, in your first year, instead of 4-1-4, it looks more like 1-4-4. And you'll start out with a 3-week course in autumn term. Now, autumn term is in August and Florida. So it does not feel like autumn. In fact, it's almost the end of October right now in Florida, and it still doesn't feel like autumn, but that's what we call it. So during autumn term, you will take your first academic course, and it will be for 3 weeks with the same 20 or 22 students. Supplemented with that will be other co-curricular experiences so that you can start to really get to know other members of your class, get to know the academic expectations of college level work, figure out where all the buildings are. 3 weeks later, once you've figured out a little bit more, you've got some strong footing, then our upper class students will come in. The autumn term course that you take is not major specific. So technically all of our students come in undecided, and these are a sample of some of the 26 different autumn term courses available to you. One of the nice things about Eckerd is that we're only undergraduate. We don't have any graduate students. And so that means that you will have direct connection with faculty members. And in fact, that faculty member who teaches your autumn term course will be your very first faculty mentor. They will be guiding you through your, not just first 3 weeks, but your entire first year through a foundation course we call Human Experience. Once you declare your discipline, you'll have a mentor within your field of study who will talk to you more about research opportunities. In fact, 2/3 of our students before they graduate will have some sort of professional experience, publishing, presenting at a conference, juried art shows, and they'll also connect you with the greater network of Eckerd alums. Here are some of our major, or actually I should say all of our majors. We've got 42 academic programs. Some of our most popular, marine science is certainly our flagship program. That's what we're very, very well known for. Also environmental studies, animal studies is one of our newest programs. International relations and global affairs and psychology round out about the top 5. We've got about 42 different academic majors and programs. One of the things in winter term that you'll see is that we have a lot of our students take an Eckerd course in another part of the globe. And so this is how we'll have you do an Eckerd course with Eckerd students and Eckerd faculty member in one of 25 different destinations abroad. In fact, we're number 2 in the country for the number of students who take a short-term study abroad among baccalaureate institutions. And then we also have more semester programs, affiliates. We even have our own campus in London at our London Study Center. On campus, it's paradise. So like I said, 188 acres. This is our own beach. Sunsets are a big deal. You might notice the dog there. We are also the pet-friendliest campus in the United States. In addition to recreationally, You can also take advantage of our waterfront where you take out paddleboards and kayaks and sailboats. You can also academically take out a beach catamaran for that marine science course. And it's a service component because the waterfront is home to XR, the Eckerd College Search and Rescue Team, where we respond to on average 600 distress calls in a given year. Here are some application requirements. We are on the common application. We're waiving the fee for any application submitted by December 1st. Early action deadline is November 15th, which means that your application will receive a decision. And we are a member of the book Colleges That Change Lives among 40 different colleges and universities. Last but certainly not least is my contact information, and I am the rep for you in California. Thanks so much.
All right, and next up is University of Massachusetts Lowell.
Thank you. So, hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well this evening. I'm Joanne Germano. I'm the Associate Director of West Coast Regional Recruitment for the University of Massachusetts Lowell. I'm from Massachusetts originally, but I am actually in your time zone. I'm based in San Diego. I make several trips when we're back to normal travel to the Bay Area. So I am your point of contact. If you're not familiar with our campus, we are very similar to how UC Berkeley is laid out. Lowell is a smaller size city, about 100,000 people, a lot of family-owned restaurants, mom and pop shops, but we do have close proximity to Boston. So you can actually get a direct flight from a lot of the Bay Area airports into Boston, jump on the train and get to our campus in about 35 to 40 minutes. So we're just north of Boston. The UMass system as a whole is ranked #1 public university system in New England. So it's a very strong education. We're similar to how your UCs are structured in terms of the research component, master's and PhD level programs. At Lowell, we're about 11,000 undergraduates, but our average class size is 25. We have students coming from all 50 states, over 100 different countries, and we're about 38% students of color. We've added 14 new buildings in the last 7 years, so we have a lot of new labs, new residence halls. We have an 8,500 square foot makerspace on campus, a medical device center for our students to study in, as well as a baseball research lab, just to name a few of our neat options. Over 100 options you can choose from. Everything is direct entry, including our nursing program. In as little as 3.5 years, you could earn your bachelor's in nursing. Most popular at our university are going to be anything in the STEM, business, and criminal justice. We are the first school in the country to have plastics engineering. Those students do a lot of work with prosthetics. Some of our plastics alum are currently working on COVID vaccines. We are also one of the first schools in the nation to have sound recording technology. We do a lot of 5-year tracks, 4+1 tracks. So if you're interested in doing a bachelor's and a master's, you can do that in anything in the STEM, business, criminal justice, psychology, and history. We're very hands-on, so we make sure students get experience in the workplace, whether it's through an internship or a paid internship called a co-op. About half of our students partake in some form of work outside of the classroom. The benefit of our hands-on experience is 95% of our students are employed within 6 months of graduation. You can actually earn your degree from us in Massachusetts and come back to California with a job because we have over 200 company partnerships, including a lot of companies specifically in the Bay Area, such as Tesla, Raytheon, Fidelity Investments. Our students are also very competitive. We've had students build canoes, bridges, rockets, race cars, and they've competed both in the New England area and in national competitions. If you're interested in business, we also have a Risk Difference Maker Institute where you can start your own startup on campus. If you're interested in study abroad, we have a lot of options. We partner with over 300 universities in over 40 different countries, and we offer different scholarships to help cut the costs for study abroad too. And they're available in all majors. So we have a lot of fun on campus. We are Division I in athletics. Being a New England school, our ice hockey team draws the most fans. Those games are a lot of fun. But we have 10 concerts this semester, or a year, I should say. We've had Drake and Billy Joel come to campus to perform. Snoop Dogg, Oprah was on campus 2 Novembers ago to help fundraise scholarships for our students. But we also have what's called living and learning communities, where if you're say an engineering major or a business major, you can choose to live with other students of your same interests. And that are on your same schedule. So that will help you build a sense of a stronger community on campus. And about 90% of our first year students live on campus. If you are looking to apply, the fee waiver code is right on the screen if you are a senior. Our average test score was a 1240 on the SAT, and then our average ACT was a 25, but we are test optional. We've been test optional for about 5 years now. We look at an average weighted GPA, and our deadlines are below. If you do want to study nursing, the deadline is November 5th, so be sure to apply by November 5th. Otherwise, you have till February 5th to apply. We are on the Common application. We're on the Coalition app as well. If you're looking to check us out virtually, you can scan that QR code on the screen. We have a variety of open houses coming up through January. We also have a virtual tour on our website that you can check out. We are hoping to be back on campus in the spring to continue our traditional fly-in program, where in the past I've been able to invite about 20 students from the West Coast that have been admitted to spend a full weekend on campus of April of their senior year. That's where you can get the full tour of campus, learn more about your major, and we help cover a lot of those costs. Feel free to take down my contact information. I'd love to follow up with you to talk more about UMass Lowell. And again, I'm also based here in California. Thank you for your time.
All right, and our final presenter for this 6x6 is Utah State University.
All right, awesome. Give me 1 second while I get this shared. Awesome. So to get started, my name is Jacob Clayson. I am an admissions specialist here at Utah State University. We are located in Logan, Utah, and actually we are the land grant institution of Utah. So we were started in 1888. But really, at the end of the day, we are actually all over the state of Utah. So as you kind of see here, of all of our campuses and centers across the state of Utah, you can see Logan at the very top of Utah. We're about an hour and a half from Salt Lake City, which is the closest international airport. A big thing about Utah State is that we are actually have 84% of our students that live away from home. So it's a lot of people that are coming from all over the place to really rally around the campus. And we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later when I talk about student life. Now, Utah State does have all types of degrees. We do have a technical part, a 2-year and a 4-year degree, as well as some master's programs. So anything you're really looking for, Utah State can have that for you. We have also this huge part of Utah State, which is hands-on research, hands-on work, study abroad, making sure students get their experience in and outside the classroom. So 74% of our students by their senior year will have some type of hands-on work or internship by the time they graduate. So that's a huge thing with Utah State is we want to make sure that you are prepared, that when you leave Utah State, you're not only getting an education, but you're getting that aspect outside of the classroom. We do have 159 programs. These programs go from anything from agriculture, arts, business, education, engineering, humanities and social sciences, natural resources, and sciences. All these programs have some amazing things that they're doing in and outside the classroom. And I really encourage you to go onto our website and go and research all of the things they're doing, because they are doing a lot of things that are impacting the world. Now, Utah State does offer academic scholarships, and our scholarship deadline is January 10th. If you are wanting to be eligible for an academic scholarship, you want to make sure you go onto our website and really apply by then. These go off of a GPA and a test score. But this year, because of everything that's been kind of crazy, we have gone so that you can go off of a comprehensive review. So if you would like to go off of comprehensive review, that's something you have to go onto our website and fill out. And we will look at a lot of other things such as course rigor, class rank, some of these other criteria to really narrow down where you should be in our scholarship index. We are a WUI school, so I know that that's a big thing that a lot of California residents take advantage of. The big thing at the end of the day that I want to kind of highlight about Utah State is what makes us really unique. So I'm going to really highlight our main campus in Logan. We are rich in traditions and really making sure that students are taken care of when they're a student at Utah State. Because of 84% of our students living away from home, we're rich in traditions. So a couple of these that you see on the screen, the first is Light the A Blue. Every time one of our sporting events goes and plays and they win, we all rally around and we push this button and it turns this A on the top of our main building, Old Main, blue. And it's a huge tradition that's been going for a long time. Another really fun one that we do here on campus that you can see in the E here is True Aggie Night. True Aggie Night's been around for 105 years. It's something that happens on a full moon night. They actually do a big event before it, and then students get on top of this A block that we have and they be kissed and they become a true Aggie. So really fun tradition. We have fun alumni that come kick it off every single year, and it's something that people really look forward to. Another really funny one that you see in the eye is our Aggie ice cream. We actually were ranked best ice cream in the state of Utah, which is kind of a big deal. We do have some great other ice cream shops in the state of Utah, but that's something that people always are going to our creamery that's right on campus, that's made right there on campus. We do events all year round. We also do campus tours all year round that are still happening on our campus. We'd love for you to come see it for yourself. Okay, so you can kind of see some of these you see here. We're doing open houses on a virtual setting, and you can go look at those on our website, openhouses.usu.edu. But at the end of the day, we're trying to make sure that you can kind of bridge that gap so that you can kind of see what it's like to be a student here. We do have virtual tours that are also available on our website, and that is anything from a tour around campus, a tour of our housing facilities, a tour of Logan, Cache Valley, where Utah State University Logan really sits. And I would really encourage you to take advantage of that. Or if you can, come see campus. We actually do an out-of-state day that is really geared towards out-of-state students. We will be doing one that's actually happening this Friday, but there's two that are happening in the spring. So make sure you really go and research all these awesome events. This is our contact information. This is the Office of Admissions information. We'd love for you to reach out if you have any questions regarding Utah State and everything that comes with that. Thanks so much for your time, and I appreciate it. Go Aggies.
All right, so we have about 10 minutes for Q&A. So I want to invite all of the participants to drop their questions in the Q&A. And while we keep an eye on those written questions, I want to invite all of our panelists to turn on their screens, and we'll go around in presentation order. I would love to hear a fun fact, a unique tradition, something, some lasting impression to leave our participants with who are watching. So we'll go back to the top with Northeastern University.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I hope tonight was helpful for all the students in attendance. I think one kind of fun fact that I personally love about Northeastern is that if you haven't been to our campus, let me tell you that underneath our campus, physical campus, we have a huge tunnel system. And I think this is absolutely ideal for those chilly New England weather days that you really just don't want to be outside. So I do recommend getting a nice jacket. But in addition to that, you're welcome to use our tunnel system as well.
So I'm trying to think of what I should choose. Women's colleges have tons and tons of fun traditions. I don't know that I could land on just one. So instead, I'll leave you with a little known fact about Mount Holyoke. I think too often students don't equate strong STEM outcomes with liberal arts colleges, and we've heard the opposite of that here tonight. Mount Holyoke is no exception. We send more women into PhD programs in the STEM field, specifically in the life sciences, than any other baccalaureate granting college or university in the US. And that's a 50-year statistic. We're very proud of that stat.
So I'll leave you all with a fun fact as well as the tradition. So my fun fact is that Pace University actually has the tallest residential hall in the world. Our 33 Beekman Residential Hall in New York City is 34 stories tall. So plenty of panoramic views of New York City to take in. And then one tradition that we have on campus is on finals week on both of our undergraduate campuses. We do have a midnight breakfast event where we cook a ton of breakfast and offer some fun entertainment and engaging activities for our students to take part in, just as a little pick-me-up during the finals.
All of a sudden I'm hungry because it's close to midnight here, or it's getting closer. So if you remember in my presentation, I said we're the pet friendliest campus in the United States. So dogs, cats, reptiles, you name it, they're able to come. About half of our residence halls are animal friendly. And so right before commencement, right before our seniors graduate, we have a pet commencement. So if you're thinking about coming to college with your puppy or your kitten, don't worry, they can graduate too. And job placement rates for pets is phenomenal.
And at UMass Lowell, I would say one of my favorite traditions is our United in Blue Night, which kicks off hockey season. So we are big in ice hockey, being a New England school. We don't have football, so the sense of camaraderie that football brings to other institutions is at our ice hockey games. Our colors are red, white, and blue, so we call it United in Blue. But our students get their own blue shirts. They have their own little cheers. The games usually sell out, especially on that night. So that's my favorite tradition because it really shows our campus spirit.
Amazing. I'm going to share two really fun facts. The first one, I guess, is that we are one of two schools that have ever broken ESPN sound meter at a basketball game. So our student life is really like lively. Every game that everybody goes to every game because of all those students living away from home. And then the other thing, I guess the fun fact is that we are right at the base of a canyon. So if you like anything outdoors, hiking, biking, fishing, kayaking, skiing, whatever it may be, it's right at your back door. It's a 15-minute drive from your house.
All right, so I do see some questions in the Q&A, so I'm going to give our presenters a chance to address those. Feel free to read anything out loud or type an answer, whichever you'd prefer. And in the meantime, keep those questions coming. We've got about 3 more minutes. All right, so I'll go ahead and wrap things up now. I want to say thank you to all of our presenters, all of our participants who asked questions and watched the presentations. Thank you to everybody for joining us this evening. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. And also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week, you'll be able to see this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings at the same website where you registered. And there is another session starting in just about 15 minutes. I'm sure I'll see some of you there. And for the rest of you, and again to our presenters as well, thank you all and have a great evening.